All right. John, good to see you back. How are you feeling? Are you fit and ready if required tomorrow?
I'm chomping at a bit. Probably the worst guy to be 10 days in the house, but managed to get through it. Fortunate that Villa dropped off a treadmill, so trying to stay as fit as possible and keeping my head right. So fine now, glad to be back with the boys and hope I can help it.
I think most Scotland fans were frustrated watching on in midweek. How frustrated were you by watching on not being able to impact the game?
It was tough for me to watch, mainly because I couldn't help the boys out. Never really enjoyed watching it. I always wanted to be involved, help playing, and obviously disappointed we didn't win, but we don't really have the time to reflect on it. It's a really quick turnaround. It was a quick turnaround from the boys playing games last weekend, and it's important for us now to try and get smiles back on faces and get a positive result, which we badly need.
You mentioned getting smiles back on faces. I think for the first time in Steve's reign, there seemed to be a real sort of dip in the mood in midweek after that result and the performance. Was that something you're aware of, and do you understand perhaps why people have maybe lost a little bit of belief?
No, I was meaning the boys. I had 5 hours to drive up, so I wasn't realising what was being said or taking into account. I was talking about getting a smile back in the players' faces, but it doesn't take long when you've got a job in hand. Saturday it comes quick, and we're professionals. We're used to dealing with criticism if things don't go well, and it's a results-driven business, and when we don't win, we'll get criticised. That's just not natural and normal, so we're all used to it. You develop a thick skin, but it certainly makes victories sweeter and you enjoy them a lot more. So hopefully over 35,000 at Hampden, going to be our highest crowd in over 2 years, so we're all really looking forward to it, and it's about us going and getting the 3 points and entertaining at the same time if we can.
Finally from me, is the focus now, does it have to be on the fact that second is still very much attainable? I think some people get a bit despondent, look at the table and think, oh, can't catch Denmark, but being realistic, second is perhaps always the main target and an achievable target, and one that's still within reach.
Yeah, we definitely need to be realistic. It's going to be very tough to catch Denmark. They're a top side, and they proved it the other night, very streetwise, and the way they handled the game is something we can probably learn from. So that's maybe a little bit out of reach. We'll not give up trying to get there, but it would take a bit of a miracle for Denmark not to finish top. So 3 teams now battling out for second, and it's up to us to get the results to get us there. Home game tomorrow, Israel and Austria play against each other, so something's got to give there, and we've just got to take it each game as it comes and start getting wins again and make sure we get that second spot.
John, when defeats come, how heavily do they weigh on the players?
You always want it, when you play for Scotland, you want to win every game. That's just natural. I think initially I've not seen any reaction, but I think the initial reaction from everyone will just be disappointment, and sometimes that will come in the way of criticism, but it doesn't weigh on the players. It's the same, like I just mentioned before, you do get used to just blanking it out. You need to be professional, focus on the next job in hand, and if you allow it to weigh on yourself, then you're not going to play to your best on the Saturday. So we've quickly forgotten about it. We've not really had time to reflect. You've only got 2 days to work in Moldova, so it's in the past. Not to say we're happy with the result, definitely not, but we have had to focus on Moldova and just worry about that and make sure we get back into winning ways.
Moldova as a team in the last year have played 13 games, they've only had 1 victory against Azerbaijan, they've only scored 4 goals. Anything other than a win tomorrow is surely unthinkable.
Yeah, well, we want to win. It's international football these days. What we've learned is it's never easy, but in games where we expect to win at home, recently we've dealt with them pretty well. We've scored early, and that's an important thing. We need to get an early goal if we can, but we respect Moldova. Luckily the other night, the only good thing about not being able to be involved was I did catch bits of Moldova-Austria, and towards the end they had chances to get a point. They were tired towards the end, but they were still in the game right to the 93rd minute, so they're definitely no mugs, and they'll relish the atmosphere at Hampden tomorrow. So it's up to us to try and get an early goal and show the supporters what we can do.
You mentioned the fans, 35,000, as you say, plus tomorrow night. Will they have to be patient?
Maybe Moldova will come and be hard to beat. They'll try and frustrate us, but like I said there, in previous years we've dealt with these games where you're expected to win very well. We've scored early and built on that, so it's important we do the same. But if it does take to the 85th minute to get the goal, then the 3 points is all that matters at the end of the day.
And when obviously you were part of the squad for the Euros in the summer, to keep alive any hopes really of going to Qatar next year, you've got to try and get some victories for example, haven't you?
No, we have belief, but it's easy for me to sit there and say all the right things. It's just important for us to start doing it on the park. I think everyone knows the ability we've got in the squad, so I don't need to harp on about it. And we're still capable. We went the hard way to the Euros in the summer. We wanted to do it the easy way, but it doesn't always work like that. So we've given ourselves an uphill task to finish first, but second's definitely well within reach. And certainly Saturday is one we need to go and get 3 points, and then we'll take it from there.
Scotland tend to do things the hard way, don't they?
Aye, no, we did. The last time we've got a chance Saturday to get back to winning ways, and then Tuesday, we all know what Tuesday is, but we'll just take that when it comes.
Thank you.
John, when you getting back out on the training pitch after the Denmark game, with all that time sort of stuck in the house having to do your own work, if you had to do anything differently getting back out and training, whether it's ease yourself in or maybe do extra work?
No, I've really done full training. We've got all the stats and technology to see if I'm alright, see if I'm going to keel over, and thankfully I never. My heart rate was a wee bit high yesterday, but the staff are all aware of it, and I'm feeling good. I was feeling, I mentioned a couple of times in interviews for Villa, the fittest I've ever been, so it's came at a little bit of an awkward time for me, but it's a good chance for me to get back involved and see how long I last tomorrow if I get the nod.
I suppose that frustration of missing games for Villa and missing the Scotland game will just make sure you're ticking over as much as possible and doing all the work you need to do while you're isolated to keep your peak fitness.
Yeah, well, if it was maybe 3-4 years ago, I would have been Deliveroo every night. I'd maybe order a can of tenants at the same time, but you just can't do that these days. It's so important, especially when you've worked so hard over the summer to try and get in good nick. You just can't afford it. You just get left behind. So I've managed to do what I can. It wasn't ideal running on the treadmill, but it's what you need to do, and I think it's a reminder for everyone these days that the virus is still there, and we still need to prepare and protect ourselves. So it's got me. Thankfully, I had no symptoms and felt fine, but it's a reminder of what we're living through, and hopefully it'll be the last time for a while I can isolate for 10 days.
John, you scored a flurry of goals yourself for the national team a year or so ago, but right now they're struggling for goals, struggling for chances. Why do you think that is? And do you think this is the perfect game to get back on track, score a few?
Yeah, well, we didn't create enough chances in the game the other night, but we were up against the top seed, who played better than us, like the manager and the players I've mentioned. So chances were limited, but tomorrow night we'll get chances, and it's up to players like myself, the strikers who are all in good form for their clubs, Nizzy, Shea, Linden especially, on great form for QPR. So there's goals in there, and it's just about us being clinical and getting goals again. I think we're more than capable of getting those goals, and hopefully I can have another flurry as well.
Okay, thank you all.
Cheers.
No worries.
That was flurry, no McFlurry.
Here we go.
Getting busier.
Popular man.
Hey.
You're a popular man.
Well, you could say that.
Steve, good
Let me
afternoon.
have a quick drink, Mark.
Yeah, I'll let you.
Long walk for you over there. Get rid of the sweat off my nose that comes with the face mask. Yeah.
Steve, good afternoon. First and foremost, just bring us up to speed with your squad. Are all the boys who were absent back available for the weekend if needed?
Yeah, pretty much a full squad. One or two is still with knock for the other night, but hopefully everyone fit and available.
I feel like in midweek for the first time that the mood kind of dipped a little bit surrounding Scotland, perhaps since your time in charge. Do you get a sense of that and the need to perhaps lift people's spirits back up a bit?
I think, listen, we know where we are. We know what this week was all about. We need points that keep us in contention towards the end of the group stage, so that we're always fighting. So we come October, November, we're in the mix for qualification, and we still have that in front of us. We need a performance and we need a win against Moldova, and that's what we focus on.
I think the look of the league table's done something sort of dampen mood because Denmark are so far ahead now at the top. But being realistic, was second always a more obtainable target, a more realistic target, and also a target that very much remains within your grasp?
No, I think you always have to set out to get the maximum you can out of any situation, and obviously after the last result, it's going to be more difficult to be first. Is second still attainable? Then very much so, yeah.
Do you think you need 2 wins for the next 2 games, and do you think you can get 2 wins in the next 2 games?
We can definitely get 2 wins in the next 2 games. Whether we need them or not will be determined by how the other games pan out.
Do you get a sense that this weekend could be pivotal with the fact that Israel and Austria play each other, and at some stage you will need someone to take points off someone unexpected on the line?
No, I think for us is just to focus on what we can do. So we have to get a positive performance, a win, and get 3 points on the board and see where that takes us.
What type of challenge are you expecting from Moldova?
Difficult. They'll come. They'll be well organised defensively. Watched the game that they played against Austria the other day. It was a goal in first half injury time and then a goal after 96, 97 minutes for the 2-0 for Austria. So they made it difficult for Austria. So we expect them to come, be resolute. They're a threat from set plays, as most nations are these days. And we'll treat them with every respect, but we look to go out and put on a performance for ourselves and for the fans.
Around 35,000 tickets I think have been sold for this one. How much are you looking forward to having a busier Hampden crowd than we've had over the past couple of years?
They'll be great. It was great to see the full stadium in Denmark the other night, the passion of the Danish supporters, and I'm sure the Tartan Army can give us that at Hampden.
Can that really give a lift in a game like this, for the players that's been able to play in front of a bigger crowd again?
Yeah, I think it'll be good for the players. They enjoyed the little taste of it with the 12.5 or whatever it was, 12,500 at the Euros. They enjoyed that taste, they enjoyed the atmosphere, and if we can get the crowd rocking, good fast start, get the crowd behind us, Hampden will be a nice place to be.
Steve, the last few games of the Euros and then on Wednesday had quite slow starts, especially in the first half. What do you put that down to? Is it the system you put the players out with, the players maybe not following the system or not the right attitude from the start of the games? What would you put it down to?
Where's the slow starts from the Euros? I thought we started quite well against England.
Yeah,
We didn't start too badly against Czech Republic either, so you can shape it any way you want. We started slow the other night for sure, and we got punished for it.
I was just saying in terms of not being ahead at half time in any of the games, but looking into this game against Moldova, is it the kind where you're looking at the Austria game, you're going to make a few changes with resting players in mind, try something new, or is it just about winning, scoring a lot of goals?
It's just about winning with a good performance. That's what it's about. Can't think too much about the Austrian game. We have to win against Moldova.
Can we expect a few changes from Wednesday night?
Maybe 1 or 2. Shuffle the pack a little bit, freshen it, certain positions.
You said earlier last week that you were considering bringing in maybe another forward that you hadn't brought in. Are you going to bring anyone, or just go with the players that you've got for the next 2 games?
No, like I say, everyone, apart from 1 or 2 little knocks and niggles that hopefully will clear up overnight. There's no need to bring anyone into this camp.
Steve, the Moldova ranked 175 in the world. Understand, certainly the Austria game, and there are no gimmicks now in world football. But there'll be an expectancy from the Tartan Army to win tomorrow night. Would you concede that?
We have to win. Nobody's shying away from that. We have to win. And if we can win and play well, it'll be great. If we can just win, then that'll be fine.
Is performance comes secondary then? Is that what you're trying to say? Is it, it's all about winning?
Hopefully the two will marry up. That's what we always hope for. We'll be better. We'll be good in the game. The lads have been good in training. There's a little edge to them. I can feel it already. They know they're going to a pivotal moment in the group. So let's see what we produce.
The question I asked John McGinn: when there is a defeat, is there a heavy weight then comes on the shoulder of the players, and do you feel it as a manager when the team doesn't win?
We're used to it. It's obviously a little bit heavier because it's the national team, and you feel as though you've let the country down a little bit, but it's not the case. We're football, we're professional, we understand the job is a low midweek and hopefully a high at the weekend. It's all about ups and downs and how you deal with it. Try not to get too high when you win and try not to get too low when you get beat.
Do you think, talking about winning again, and you can see anything else other than a win then against Moldova tomorrow is completely unthinkable? Possibly end Scotland's hopes of getting to Qatar.
Yeah, but you're trying to put your words into my press conference. Let's get the performance and let's get the result, and then we can talk about the rest of it.
You said before the Euros that there were goals in this squad. Well, played 4 games, we scored once. Is that more difficult than you thought it would be, and if so, why?
Having converted with chances would be my summation of that one. Even the other night, you think Ryan Fraser had a fantastic chance, 10 minutes to go. We didn't convert it. Might have been interesting if that one had gone in. We had lots of chances in the Euros. We didn't convert them. So making chances, we've shown that we can create. So when we create them, we have to finish them. So a little bit more clinical would be nice.
At the other end of the field, clean sheets have been hard to come by. 1 and 4 again.
Yeah, but we're working at it and we'll try and get better.
Andy Robertson said after the Denmark game that there wasn't enough bravery on the ball. Why do you think that that's become an issue, and do you think there are enough leaders on the pitch there to change that?
Yeah, I think so. I think by and large we're pretty comfortable with the ball. The Danes made it awkward for us, and I think people tend to gloss over the fact that the Danes are a really good side, and they made it difficult for us in the first 20 minutes, and we maybe didn't pass the ball as well as we could. Later in the game, when the game slowed down a little bit and we found we're level in the game, we passed the ball well. You watch the second half, we passed it well, but the game was gone by then. We have to make sure that we can do that when the game is still intense and up for grabs.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Steve. See you up tomorrow night.
Thanks very much.
Hi, News Hub Wallace, it's Alan here. Did you manage to get the